All right, IzzyVerse. What's up? Follow it, listen to it, do what you gotta do. If you don't, I'm gonna get you. Feel me? King 730, Yonkers on the break.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the IzzyVerse. Tonight's show is all about AEW and New Japan Forbidden Door prediction show. I got with me a great guest that's new to the channel, so I'm excited to bring him along pretty soon. But before we do that, let's talk a little bit about some of the things I'm going to be promoting in the next couple of days. If you haven't seen it already, Obi-Wan trailer came out. Obi-Wan came out this week, and yes, I do have my spoiler review. I have it up and running right now. You can go check it out. It's a great conversation to have with Andrew and some other people that were with me for the show. So come check out the Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer. Spoiler review, what I'm saying, trailer. Also, coming next week, the Kickstarter program. Kickstarter is, I'm going to be here with Ralph, and Phil Russell, and we're going to be talking about our picks for Kickstarters, hot picks that we like, that we want to promote, and we want to share with you guys that you could be a part of it. So is it your Kickstarter program that's going to be part of this? Go check out the show next week on Thursday. We're going to do our Kickstarter program. Also, I'll be with them. My same two Kickstarter project guys are also going to be with me in Eternal Con. We all are going to be there. And we're going to have our very special panel that's going to be on Sunday. We're going to have a panel for you guys to check us out, talk to us, ask your questions. So Eternal Con happening next week, July 2nd and 3rd from Hofstra University. Lastly, I want to promote to you guys, again, Comic Exposure. If you go to Comic Exposure, you get 15% off using promo code IzzyVerse. And Comic Exposure was kind enough to provide to me with a book that I am going to give off this month. So I have here Hulk issue 6, the variant edition. This is a limited 3,000 copies. All you got to do is just leave a comment in any one of the June videos. It has to be in June video. Leave a comment and you'll be entered to win this book, which I'm going to give away next week. Next week, I'm going to give away this book to one of our lucky viewers. You know, in other words, subscribe, like the channel, leave a comment. If you leave a comment, you will be entered to win that book. Okay, guys? So enough talk, enough plugs. It's time to get on to what we're here for. The main event, which is the Forbidden Door pay-per-view. That is happening this Sunday from the United Center in Chicago. AEW versus New Japan Pro Wrestling. I can't wait to talk about this with my special guest, and it is Danny Darko. Danny, you're hiding, bro.
Hello there.
What's going on, bro?
I'm good. How are you, mate?
Good. So Danny and I met a few months ago, right, in the Brooklyn Independent Comic Show.
Yes, a story we will tell our grandkids about.
Exactly. And when I immediately met Danny, I was like, dude is a wrestling fan. I gotta meet him and stuff like that. You were with your girlfriend, right? Am I right? That was your girlfriend.
Yes, my lovely Kayla. Sure. Yeah.
Right. And ever since then, we've been talking about doing a show, and this is like the perfect show. So yes. Welcome aboard, Danny. Welcome to the show. Let's start talking a little bit about AEW New Japan. So before we even get to this card, when you first heard the news about the Forbidden Door, not even the pay-per-view, but the term Forbidden Door, what was some of the things that came into your head?
Oh, man. So this, the past couple years, I mean, with the initial, AEW, just it happening. And I just remember, I guess, the Forbidden Door stuff really started coming into fruition during, COVID, which was, it was just crazy just seeing all these people come over. It was a breath of fresh air, I guess, to put it in it was, like you watch WWE for so long, and they're in their own little box, in their own little world, in their WWE universe. And just to see like everybody else playing together, and it's beautiful because like, I don't want to get too deep into this, but I've had this conversation where like I've always pictured like, say if Triple H ran the company, he'd end up doing like some kind of like wrestling Olympics every 4 years or so, where like all the top promotions came together. And then this started happening, and it was just like, it was crazy. Yeah, it's how about you? How do you feel about all this stuff? Like
So the Forbidden Door, the term Forbidden Door is one of those terms that were created recently, right? It's
yeah,
but that's always been a thing, right?
yeah,
Whenever there was talks about, intercompany promotions,
mm-hmm,
um, you got to go back to when it all started, right? The whole NWA, National
yeah,
Wrestling Alliance, right? So the territory years, as we'll
mm-hmm,
call them, right?
yes,
The territory years. What was very interesting about the territory years is that's that was the idea of the Forbidden Door,
mm-hmm,
right? However, WWE, which was WWF back
yeah,
then, was still the top, right? They were
yeah,
number one. But the company that's slowly creeping up on them, and I will say slowly, was Crockett Promotions,
yeah,
which will eventually will become what we
WCW,
know WCW, right?
yeah,
And there was other promotions. So you got Memphis, and I'm trying to remember South something. I know it
oh
was Jim
yeah,
Cornette, South something. Um, Jim Cornette kind of brought the Forbidden Door to WWE at one time when he
yeah,
brought in the Rock and Roll Express. Unfortunately, they're already past their time though.
yeah,
But you know, we had Super Brawl, we had Super Clash. If you remember Super Clash, if that's going back. You
that
mentioned your age. You might have been a little baby at the time when that happened,
yeah.
but
My
Super
my grandfather used to like my grandfather and my father used to record all that stuff. So
yeah
like, yeah, I was able to like go
yeah
back and watch the thing. So I was blessed with some stuff that was
yeah
beyond my time.
yeah. So Super Clash was a big deal because that was what we're calling Forbidden Door today. What Super
Yeah.
Clash was Jerry the King Lawler versus Kerry Von Erich,
Mm-hmm.
and they had a hell of a match, right? But unfortunately, there was some mismanagement of funds,
Yeah. Yeah. That was a very prevalent theme back in the day.
and as a result, many of the wrestlers of that time till this day have not got paid. They're paid for that match, for those matches.
Sad, yeah.
So that's what we would call the first Forbidden Door. But most recently, the
Mhm.
discussion of the Forbidden Door came about with the inclusion of AEW, being able to play nice with other promotions.
Yeah.
First being Impact,
Hmm.
right?
Oh
So,
yeah.
so Impact was really the first idea of this Forbidden Door, but
Hmm.
everybody knew that the true Forbidden Door would have to go through New Japan.
New Japan,
New
yeah.
Japan was New Japan is the largest promotion outside of WWE,
Hmm.
outside of the States. AEW is creeping in on them, but really New Japan, right as of right now, I want to say it's still a little bigger
Yeah,
than
yeah.
AEW.
They've got the time, they've been around for a while, so obviously, it's
Exactly. So, that was what everybody was clamoring for. That's what everybody was looking for. But the whole Impact thing of it all with Kenny Omega
oh
and
yeah.
him winning their title, Mickey James, all that stuff that was happening became a big deal, and everybody was talking about it, and everybody it's like it was it's in the atmosphere, right?
Yeah, just
But it wasn't there yet
on a
until
bigger,
now.
yeah. Because like, dude, when Kenny won the belt and Don Callis is like, see you on Impact, dude, that was like,
That was big.
I was, and the thing is, if they were able to like sort of, I mean, there was also like, COVID and all that. The whole belt collector thing, I honestly saw the end game of that being Kenny eventually winning the IWGP title again, and really having all the titles. But obviously that didn't come to fruition. But yeah, dude, I when Don Callis was like, yeah, we'll see you on Tuesday, I was like, what the F, it was crazy.
Yeah.
And then yeah, then it just like it just started like getting crazier and crazier. Like when Kenta showed up,
Yeah, that was a big deal when Kenta showed up.
yeah,
Right?
dude.
So there's a lot. There's a lot riding, and then of course, recently, we see Jay White coming in, and we're just like, "Whoa, Jay White! Whoa,
Yeah.
whoa! Jay White! That's a big deal." All right. Hey, what's up, Edwin? How you doing, my bro?
Hello.
Hey, Edwin. There you go. So, with the inclusion of Jay White coming in, you're starting to see that this door is creeping. It's creeping open, and then finally, when the announcement is made, we got a Forbidden Door pay-per-view,
Yeah.
and this could very well become their next WrestleMania. Everybody talks. I have a question for you before we even get to the Forbidden Door.
Yeah.
What pay-per-view would you consider be AEW's version of a WrestleMania? Would it be All Out or Double or Nothing? Because there is a bit of a confusion on which one should it be.
Yeah, that's weird because that's always been a tough one to answer because yeah, technically All In was their inaugural pay-per-view, and then All Out was like, I guess what was the All Out was the first official AEW pay-per-view?
All In was not an AEW.
Yeah, that was like the precursor to what would be.
Yeah. Double or Nothing is the first one.
Double or Nothing. Okay, so yeah, that's tough. I don't know. That's always been hard to answer because it's still a little early, and I mean, all their pay-per-views seem like WrestleMania caliber, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, like Revolution,
maybe not Full Gear.
Full Gear might be the stepchild out of all four of them, but I think because like Revolution, you can make an argument. I mean, there's been some of the biggest matches and some of the biggest game-changing events. So yeah, but I guess, damn, I don't know. It's like
it's been the quarterly thing, so they're keeping that quarterly formula, which always been a nice place to do it.
Yeah.
It's also good on our wallets.
Oh yeah, for real. Because I've paid $50 for every AEW pay-per-view.
I've paid for all of them, man.
And I've never felt cheated. Like even you can go to that the barbed wires and bomb match.
Yeah.
I still think, despite that ending, that still was an amazing match. That entire match had me like.
Was good. And that ending was fun.
It was, and to be honest, the way Eddie Kingston flipped the whole thing was brilliant.
The way they sold it.
Yeah, he is a genius, and I knew he was gonna do something like that. I knew he was gonna bring it back to he had like a PTSD moment. But even despite that, and that was like, it was weird because from what they said, like they tested it out a bunch of times, and then it's like the opposite. You ever seen those videos where like the people will like set themselves on fire? It'll be fine, and then when they actually do it, it goes wrong. Like when they actually
it was the other way around, right?
Yeah, it was the other way around. But yeah, so the whole point is like, dude, I felt like every pay-per-view has been like worth every penny, and you compare that to like WWE when it was on the network. You're paying $10 a month, and you're getting like a million pay-per-views. It didn't, I felt like I was paying too much. If it wasn't for NXT, I would have been like.
I think for WWE in particular, is like what really got to me recently. I think the worst, they're when they care, they do good.
Yeah,
that's how
true.
I look at it. But there's moments like I go back to that Hell in a Cell with
Bray Wyatt,
Rollins and Bray Wyatt. How stupid that ending was.
Dude, the fact that they like time and time again go to like non-finishes on pay-per-views, that's not the way to do it. That's what Raw and SmackDown is for. Like that's never happened in AEW, never happened in New Japan.
Yeah.
I mean, like, at least to my, as long as I've been watching.
Well, not even that. The 50-50 booking is just ridiculous.
Dude, look at how many times, sorry to cut you off, look at how many times Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins wrestled since Cody came back. They wrestled almost 20 times. And apparently they were supposed to wrestle again in August.
Yeah, so I don't know. They keep going back to that dry well.
Yeah.
Obviously it's the whole McMahonism of it all, but there's a little bit more to that. I think for every McMahon, you gotta have someone that's gonna be. I guess you could say you gotta have what's his name? Not Pritchard, the guy who passed away recently. First Intercontinental Champion. Do you remember his name? Why is his name escaping me? Anyway,
I hate when that happens because I'm on the same. It happens to
No,
me all the time with Gary
he was the
Oldman.
very first Intercontinental Champion,
You
and
know
now I
what?
can't remember his name. I'll have to look it up somehow.
Dude, that happens to me every time I need to bring up Gary Oldman in context. I forget his name. It's just like, I hate that, man.
Yeah, it's like it's killing me, man. So now I gotta look it up.
Are you
And when
kidding me? Pat Patterson?
yes,
Something
Pat
so
Patterson.
simple, such
Yes,
a household name. How did we
yes,
forget
Pat
that? We
Patterson.
we
Pat
should just
Patterson.
end this
Thank you.
show and just like
We're done.
go
We're
away.
marks. We're a bunch of marks. No, but we don't have a Pat Patterson to tell him, hey, dude, this is not working, or
Or
and
Dusty.
or Dusty,
Yeah.
or a wrestler that's willing to say no.
Mm-hmm.
You go back to that famous CM Punk, that same CM Punk interview where he said no one tells him no, except maybe Cena,
Mm-hmm.
maybe Undertaker, but everybody else is like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. I'll do something dumb.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, you have to have guts to deal with McMahon in other ways and be
Yeah.
respectful. Anyway,
Yeah.
enough of that.
Yeah.
Let's go into the Forbidden Door. Let's go
Yes.
to the pay per view that everybody's here, where everybody's been watching for. All right, we're gonna start with the very first start match, which is part of the buy-in. That is the Gunn Club and Max Caster versus New Japan Dojo, the DKC, Kevin Knight, Alex Coughlin, and Uemura. I can't even say his name.
I heard him say his name a million times, and then when you
Yuya.
read it, it's like, huh?
Uemura.
Hi.
Okay, this is one match that it makes sense. It's in the buy-in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what can you tell me about what you know about the New Japan Dojo wrestlers?
So sadly enough, I must admit my New Japan game has fallen off. So in like the last year or so, I've missed out on so much New Japan and New Japan Strong, and I'm ashamed of myself because like I would like literally tune in time and time again to watch every single New Japan event. I actually loved New Japan so much that I willingly watched events in Japanese with Japanese commentary. It was tough because you don't understand what they're saying, but dude, their enthusiasm and energy. I've seen people make remarks about like we'll get into this later, but like with Okada showing up in AEW, somebody said that JR wasn't excited, but like he clearly was. He was clearly talking about how great Okada was. But it's like those marks that watch the other stuff, they're like used to this manufactured, like, hey, you have to act this way, because WWE commentary does not seem genuine. But anyways, so I've been falling off of New Japan, and it sucks because with the New Japan the New Japan Strong, I feel like there's a lot of content there. And like, dude, Darren Young is in New Japan Strong. Like that's great, or at least he was. It was nice to see his face pop up again because I feel like he did such WWE did him so dirty, and to see him actually go off there. But so I admittingly don't know a lot about the current guys, but I was talking to you about it before, where like I can sit down and not know anybody from New Japan, and it's just intriguing and to see what they're gonna bring. So yeah, as far as that goes, I don't know much, but I will tell you one thing: I cannot wait for Max Caster's freestyle. He has been lifting it up week in and week out.
Yeah, Max Caster is nuts, man, when he comes to this stuff. Hey guys, as you're watching the show, I know some people are watching the show live. As you're watching the show, I'm going to be taking your comments, and if you enter your comments, I'm going to enter you to win this comic book, which I'm going to give away next week. It is a variant exclusive. It's only 3,000 copies. That's a small amount. When it comes to comic books, I know it sounds crazy. It's a whole joke when it comes to Big Bang Theory. But yes, 3,000 copies are in existence of that Incredible Hulk #6 variant. So just leave a comment. I saw Edwin left his comment. So Edwin, you are in. So I'm letting everybody know as well. All right.
Best of luck,
so
Edwin.
With that said, I want to mention the Gunn Club and Max Caster.
Yeah.
All right. First of all, this is what? DX Light?
Essentially, yeah.
Right.
Dude, you see how much fun Billy Gunn is having?
Well, first of all, it is insane to know how old Billy Gunn really is and look the way he looks.
Dude, I'm not gonna say anything because that's I was gonna say some naughty stuff, but he looks good.
How old Billy Gunn really is. Last I heard, and I want to make sure this is the truth, right? He is 58 years old. That is not what a 58-year-old should look like.
No, and you know, like I mean, I can't speak to his earlier career because there was a lot going on in that front, but I like, you know, being that like these guys work with DDP and all that stuff, like, dude, you know, this is all clean stuff, and he just looks good,
He's
man.
jacked.
Like him and Dustin, they for their age. I mean, Dustin doesn't have the most amazing body, but Dustin moves as if he's like 25 years old. It's wild.
Yeah.
And Billy, yeah, is just like he's a freak. I never realized how big he was, to be honest, till he came to AEW.
Billy Gunn, yeah, he was always one of those guys that no one realizes how big he is until you actually see him with other wrestlers.
Yeah, because he was standing next to Kane and Undertaker, you know, guys like that Big Show. So
big dude. Billy Gunn is big. Yeah. And you know, he's jacked, he's in tremendous shape, you know. And then you got the Ass Boys. I love them.
Yeah,
I love
dude.
the Ass Boys.
They're gonna be something else in the coming years, man.
Yeah, because they're still very young, and they do have that same level of charisma. But I love the game that they're playing, right?
Yeah.
You know, where Billy Gunn is like, he's more down with Caster.
Yeah. The embarrassing cool dad.
Yeah, he's like, shut up, you know. Oh, we'll talk about this, David. We'll talk about this. Don't worry, we'll get to it, David. So stay tuned, man.
And you know what though? You have to give a lot of credit to Danhausen, man. Danhausen really put these guys over in like the blink of an eye, just making one stupid little joke, man.
Yeah, and that's what's funny, because you know what I would have loved as a great buy-in match? I would have loved to have Danhausen
versus Yano.
Yeah, perfect. Tell me.
Yano is my favorite, bro. I still remember when he sold the DVD to a fan when he was fighting against Hulk Cabana.
Dude, he's the guy you see in the subway trains, man. He really is.
Quick story. So I was fortunate enough to go to that the event at the Garden, the Super Card of Honor. And so I actually managed to get ramp seats. So when he came out, I had a cardboard cutout of my friend's head. And so he comes out, and I was like, yeah, no, I wanted to give it to him. But at the moment, he was stealing the New Japan title. So he just looked at us. He goes, secret, you know, dude. I adore that man. He is so his matches with Kenny and the G1. Oh.
Yeah, I hope we get something like that, because who's sorely missing is the comic relief. Like, this is your comic relief, right? With the Gun Club and Max Caster and what's the other guy's name? I can't remember. It's escaping me too.
Oh,
Caster,
oh my God! Wow.
We're a mess today, aren't we?
Dude, we are fake wrestling. Oh my God! What the? Oh, Anthony Bowens. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, he's great, man. He's
great. He's a little under utilized, I think.
Yeah.
Because I think Matt Caster is overshadowing him.
Yeah.
So I think what's going to eventually happen is that they're going to break up.
Yeah. I also. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, no, keep going.
I also am dying for somebody to call out Max Caster and drop the Bobby Lashley's sister line. Dude, somebody, I wish I was a wrestler so I could just go up there and battle him and just drop that line, bro. I would get the biggest pop ever. Like, I'm just waiting for somebody to bring that up, man. Like, it's gonna be great.
Okay, so with this particular match, who do you have going over?
This is tough because so essentially I would say probably like either one of the either Caster or one of the gun club guys, the Sons, because these are essentially like guys that are on excursion, you know, they're still young lions to an extent. But on the flip side, you know, maybe I don't know how long they like are into their excursion. So, you know, like when they get that one win, it kind of like so I don't know. That's the one thing about like AEW, New Japan, ROH wrestling like that.
Yeah.
The obvious is not always that obvious, you know, like
that is true. But here's my take. My take is I'm gonna go with the Max and the Gun Club as winning. Where Max is gonna get the win.
Okay. Yeah,
right?
I could see that. Yeah, that's fair.
Right. Unless one of the Gun Boys loses, and I think they will lose to Yuya.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I'm thinking Yuya's because Yuya's the guy that they're hyped on more than all the other three. Nothing against the other three, but the other three are just not as well known.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
As Yuya's getting some matches in, and we're seeing Yuya,
Mhm.
and the guy is like a young Okada to me. That's what
Oh
he looks
yeah.
like.
I love
You know?
that whole like young lion system because when you
Mhm.
start to see like that
Oh yeah.
transition of these guys, like what's the guy's name that was in the Super Juniors a couple years ago? He had these banger matches with Osprey and Rocky Romero.
You're the New
Renarita.
Japan guy more than me. So I
Renarita.
think
Oh,
okay.
dude, he's so good, man. He had these crazy matches in the Best of Super Juniors. This was like during the COVID
Okay.
era. Yeah, he was good. And then the one guy, Kanamura, he was like the big tan dude that had like the
Mhm.
shark teeth.
Yeah.
He was on like a trajectory towards the top, but then he had this really bad neck injury. But yeah, no, I could see it because he does off the just the look alone, looks
Yeah.
like he could be a Tanahashi, the new
Yeah.
Tanahashi.
I think he could be a Tanahashi, he could be Okada, he could be Ibushi. He
Oh yeah,
has that in him. You know what I
I
mean?
love Ibushi.
All right.
That's my
So
dude.
let's go with now. We're going to go into the main card,
Mhm.
and what I think is going to be a good starter match would be the Bullet Club, old and new Bullet Club, which I love to see the Bullet Club back. You know
Yes,
what I'm saying? Um, Too Sweet
I'm
is
excited. Yeah,
back together,
I'm
and
excited to see ELP, man. I love that dude.
yeah, exactly. And then to see the dudes with attitude. Do you know that where that reference comes from?
Off the top of the head, no, but I know where it like it's the era that it's referenced at. But I'm trying to like pinpoint.
So
I don't want to pretend I know, and then
the dudes with attitude.
wait,
That
was
is a
that him? Oh, was that
it.
Sting? And,
It was definitely Sting. Sting
yeah,
was part
Sting.
of it.
Yeah, Sting and oh fuck. Oh my god, I was just watching the. Oh, was it hold on.
Sting's best friend. I'll give you
Yeah,
that.
why am I drawing blanks? I was watching the documentary a couple months ago. Uh,
There's a couple of versions of the dudes with attitudes. I'll give you that much.
okay, lay it on me because I know I'm
Okay,
gonna
so
get
the
mad when
dudes
you
with
tell me.
attitudes, there's different eras when it comes to the dudes with attitude.
Yeah,
There's the WCW version.
that's
There's
yeah.
also a TNA version, right?
Oh
A
wow.
TNA version of the
Okay.
dudes with attitude. But mainly it's usually Sting and Luger. But there is a version that has Sting, Luger, and Dustin.
Oh,
Dustin Rhodes.
I didn't know that.
Dustin Rhodes was part of the dudes with attitude. There's another version that had DDP in it, and they were like a poor man's NWO. That's what they really were.
Wait, so the dudes with attitude was that when? So, because I've been to Nitro, and the main event was Sting, Goldberg, and oh no, okay, never mind. There's something different. Never mind. That's completely different because it was Sting, Goldberg, and Hogan versus DDP, Sid
No,
Vicious, and
no, it's
that's something
definitely
else.
not that. No, so dudes with attitude is just like a couple of guys that got together to fight it off a faction,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that's what they're doing here.
I
Now,
love it. Yeah.
why are they the dudes with attitudes today? Beats me, but there is a Kevin Nash to it all too because it's also almost reminiscent of Wolfpack.
Yeah.
To the point that there was discussion of Sting wearing the red mask, the red
Ooh,
paint. I heard something about that, so we may see a Wolfpack reunion in some kind,
I could see that. That would be
right?
pretty
So,
dope.
right, because what's Nash doing these days?
No, yeah. I mean, he doesn't have to really do anything. Just come in and
You just show
show
up,
your
right?
face. Yeah. That's it.
Right. So, with this particular match, I don't know how to call it because with with the Bucks with the title,
Mhm.
I know that AEW is very protective of their champions,
Yeah, yeah. Naturally.
right? To the point that their champions don't lose unless it's a match. It's a
Hmm.
championship match. So I don't know what to expect from this match. This is probably one of those matches that is the most unpredictable. Now
Hmm.
the other thing about it is that I find a little odd is Darby Allin's been having a little feud with the Dragons, the Red
Hmm.
Dragons, right? And the Red Dragons are not involved in this match,
No.
which I find odd. So I don't understand their purpose. I also don't understand why God is not around.
Yeah. So, I know God is they're not in Bullet Club anymore.
Yeah, but yeah, they're not in Bully Claw. So Tamatanga, where is he in all this? Is he involved in some
See
offense?
that this could be one of those matches where we were just talking about before how like WWE does the screwy finishes during pay-per-views.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing: when you don't do screwy finishes every freaking pay-per-view 3 times in that pay-per-view, you can get away with something like that. And again, if say Tamatanga or his brother get involved, that's leading to something bigger. So it's not just like, hey, we're just gonna do a screwy finish just for the sake of it. So yeah, that's but with the Red Dragons, I know what's his name, Kyle O'Reilly's like really hurt, which sucks. I heard it's really bad.
Wasn't it Fish that was hurt?
No, it was Kyle O'Reilly.
Kyle
He I don't know what it is, but apparently it was something. I mean, not like career threatening.
He's part of the current curse that's going on in wrestling.
Yeah,
and everybody's talking about it. That everything's getting cursed now.
Yeah,
right,
it was a lot of
So who do you have going over in this match?
So yeah, you brought up a good point with the Bucks. I'm seeing Haku Leo there, and he's still on the come up. I could see him being the fall guy. Because I don't know. I don't see Takahashi or not Shingo. Shingo's not getting pinned. Unless there's like a interference. But yeah, I feel like something with the Bullet Club and or Elite or even God is gonna play into effect. So I think dudes
we're gonna have
attitude,
a run in. I think we're gonna have a run in somehow.
Yeah. So if anybody other than Haku Leo gets pinned, it's not gonna be clean. So I think dudes with attitude go over. But it's got to be some in a way that protects the Bucks, which AEW is good at doing. So like I don't want to say Kenny gets involved in this because I think this match
I think Kenny's involved somewhere else.
Yeah, it might be something else for sure. So yeah, I would say if anything, it might be like along the lines of like maybe more Bullet Club shenanigans. And then this might lead into something where because there seems to be some kind of not that the Elite separated themselves, but they kind of brought themselves back. But it seems like there's going to be something bigger with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm
because
going
the whole JY thing and Adam Cole
which was hilarious, bro.
Yeah, so that's something that's pretty big. I honestly think the Bullet Club's going to win this one.
Okay.
And honestly, I think Darby's going to take the fall.
Yeah, Darby, it's cool with him because he's one dude that can clearly get over with losing.
He's over and he could afford to lose.
Yeah.
And he's definitely not one of those. In other words, he's not Warlord, right?
Yeah.
Right now, Warlord cannot lose.
Yeah, it's hard.
Leave him, you gotta leave him alone. You gotta, that's the reason why he's not even in this card. But I think Darby can make that loss, can take that loss. Again, it's gonna be a screwy loss.
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna win. I don't think he's gonna lose cleanly. So I think he's gonna, he's gonna still. They're gonna protect protect him. But I think he's gonna take a loss because I doubt if Sting will ever get pinned again.
Yeah, because that's also part of Darby's like shtick. Like he loses. He's like it's one of those things he gets knocked down.
He loses and gets a draw.
yeah. And Sting, like you said, Sting doesn't, dude. He
doesn't lose.
He's done his time, bro. Like he's there to have fun and no sell things, which was was amazing every time he does it.
Yeah.
The question is,
hit up with a chair, and he's like, "Yeah, that's not."
The real question is, does Sting jump off of something high? That's something like to put your money on because Sting's been doing some crazy stuff, man.
Yeah, but I think Sting's been wise. He's been wise in how he's been taking his bumps. I think, especially because he is in his 60s.
He's just having fun, and he understands that like everybody's there to protect.
Unlike Jeff Hardy, who is not paying attention to what he's doing, and unfortunately got himself into trouble as a result.
Yeah.
Wish him the best because we do love Jeff. He just he sometimes he doesn't think straight. Unfortunately, you know what I mean. When you have problems like that, it's hard sometimes to kind of like get over them. So.
Yeah, it's not as simple.
It's not as simple. And people are like, oh, he could have put someone's life in jeopardy. Yeah, that's true. And if that was the case, then he deserves, to go to jail if that was to happen, right? But you also have to keep in mind, it's like the man, like most people who have to face addiction, he's still an addict in some way, and that'll never go away, unfortunately. So
yeah, it's one thing you have to get past. Like they will always say that, like as much as like other people want to help, it's something that you have to do. And I'm sure like you also got to like I don't want to get too much into this because it'll take a whole thing, but like you got to look at where he came from and the stories of like how that place kind of sucks the life and energy out of people and the love of what they're doing. So like I mean, I'm not condoning things that he did, but I don't like the way like us people are just like going about it and like accusing this, accusing that. Like they accused Matt of being an enabler, AEW of being an enabler. That's not fair, because you look at the joy of when Jeff appeared on AEW, like that whole thing where he was supposed to help his brother but he had to do the juke. Like he looked it was so great because he looked free, so I wish the best for him, and I don't condone things he did, but also, people have to understand that this is not something you just like. I'm almost 100% sure he wants to, not be that person, but So you're right. Sting's not the same person as Jeff, and Sting is, but I every time he jumps off of something, it's just like it's a treat, man.
I know, right? All right, let's go to our next match. Another. Apparently, there's a lot of 3-ways or fatal 4-ways, which we don't normally see. We don't really have that many one-on-one matches, so there are a few, but they're not many. This one is a good one.
Oh yeah.
This one is Roppongi Vice, Jeff Cobb, and the Great Okan and FTR.
This is a tough one to pick, man.
I already know who's winning. I'm sorry. I think I think they are the new belt collectors. FTR. They have to win.
That's who I'm leaning towards, but like there's an inkling in me that's saying Roppongi Vice might just do it one last time. I don't think so. It's one of those things that like you know it's not gonna happen, but you feel like
they're the underdog, right?
Yeah, because dude, Trent is like it's a shame that he keeps getting hurt, but Trent is a beast.
I think Trent is gonna go solo sooner or later.
He's had like this sort of like inevitable like singles run in him, and I do love the best friend stuff, but I think he needs, even back before he like there was a point where I don't know, when they declared that they were going to be they weren't juniors anymore and they were going to go into the heavyweight division. I don't remember if he did the G1 that year. Or no, he didn't do the G1. I heard he was supposed to, but I was so excited to see that, because to see him on that like G1 run would have been wild. But I could see.
Yeah, and I like the fact that we're seeing Jeff Cobb come back. He was somebody that I've always liked Jeff Cobb. I think Jeff Cobb is a beast. He's like a new version of Rhino. That's how I see Jeff Cobb.
Yeah,
right?
Seriously.
But he got the same shape. He pretty much has the same attitude.
They kind of look alike,
they're very similar in nature. But I think this is FTR's year.
Dude, they are just
killing it.
And it's crazy because like that, on a singles level, like they're amazing. They're so underrated.
Dax with Will Ospreay. That match, I was like, what the hell was going on here? It's like,
dude, Dax and Will Ospreay, Dax and CM Punk, Dax and Cash. Oh my god, man! It's been like,
when I was looking at when I was watching that match, it was like, dude, aren't you supposed to make Will Ospreay look good? You're making yourself look good. And again, it's like you didn't know that about Dax, right? You didn't know that he was that kind of a wrestler. Like, you knew they were good tag team wrestlers and tag team specialists, but he really is becoming his own man by himself. I don't know what the future holds for FTR. I don't know if they want to just continue being a tag team for life or anything like that. Because they're both good. As singles wise, I think they will both be great. Yeah. As a tag team, they're the modern day Horsemen, man. That's what they are.
Yeah. I also love the new song. Like that 80s song is just like, well, I mean, the other song was okay, but this song,
this was so good with the music and the Midnight Express callback.
Yeah, oh God, man. So when I first heard that, I was like, I love this. It needs to never go away.
Yeah, so FTR is gonna win it. They're gonna win the IWGP titles, and that's gonna take them to have another match with the Bucks. That's it.
I definitely agree with that. Like, as much as I could, like, that little part of me sees Roppongi Vice squeaking in and winning one. I think FTR is gonna come out and be that belt collector. Because they still have the AAA titles or no?
I think they still do.
Okay. Oh, so there you go. And there's also the Impact
guys in the comments. If you know that FTR still has the titles, let me know.
Yeah, please. And the Impact titles is there too. So one might as well take that too.
And you know who got the Impact titles now, right?
The good fellas, right?
The good brothers just got them back.
Nice.
They won the titles back. So yeah.
Oh, that would be a match.
Just like we were talking about Kenny earlier, you and I, but envision FTR holding that many belts.
I
could
the
see AAA, the ROH, the IWGP, the Impact, and it's like they can't hold them.
No, yeah. And it's easier to do that as a tag team champion. I think being like a belt collector as the world champion, there's a lot more, I don't want to say politics, but there's a lot, because you're holding the other company's title, and there's a lot of other things. But with the tag team title, like, I feel like there's a little more leeway, even though that's a very important championship in any company except for where. But but yeah, man, it would be cool to see them just take that. And there's got to be another one that they could just take. There's got to be something else out there outside of Impact that's like available.
I don't know, man. They got the big ones.
Yeah, that would be nice though. I would love to see that.
They got the ones that are important. The only one that they wouldn't be able to grab will be the WWE ones, and we don't know if that ever happens.
No, and what's bittersweet about this too? Like, you remember that injury that Cash had with the turnbuckle? Dude, I got the pleasure of actually like seeing the replay. I always try to avoid it, and I saw it, and the way his arms stretched, like the skin, that's not supposed to. It looked like an old person, like old person when they're like biceps stretch. It looked like that down here. And that could have been a lot worse than it was. Like, they were saying he wasn't certain as far as like.
Yeah, he wasn't certain about his future. Yeah, I remember that.
Here they are, and belt collector. So yeah, I'm with you on that. FTR all the way.
So, FTR's got to win it, man. It's their year.
Yeah,
it's definitely their year.
And I mean, what better? Like, the one thing I would like. The Bucks, man, like them and the Bucks in their rematch. And I mean, if you put all the belts on the line in that match, that just makes the stakes even higher.
No, it becomes like a super main event, and it can't be. I'm sorry, it can't be a Dynamite main event. It has to be like a pay-per-view caliber main event.
Yeah, I could see them bringing that. Well, I could see that actually. There's enough time to make like All Out that that match. Maybe, I mean, you could stretch it longer if you want, but if you want to like. Because I know some titles probably going to have to go back to their respective companies. Yeah. So All Out's like the perfect end game for that.
Yeah. All right. So moving on, let's go to another match that I think is going to be fun. And I do believe I know who the winner is. But we got Jericho, Minoru Suzuki, and Sammy Guevara versus Eddie Kingston, Wheeler Yuta, and Shota Umino.
Yeah.
Oh, this should be fun.
Who's going to referee this match? Please tell me it's going to be Red Shoes. Now, I think,
why would you do that to him?
No, I mean, all I know is that I want to see Red Shoes in this event at all, but I think it's going to be Bryce.
Oh, Red Shoes got to be there. I think.
Oh yeah, because usually they have when a certain title's being defended, like when the ROH belts were defended, they've had the ROH referee. Yeah. So
we're gonna get Kevin Kelly. We're gonna get Red Shoes.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear Kevin Kelly.
It would be sweet, but I don't see it happening. Don Callis on commentary too.
Oh no, I can see it happening. I can see it happen.
Oh, dude,
I can definitely see Don Callis coming in.
I love Don Callis. I remember when he was in New Japan, and the one time Kenny was like out, and he was like that. He said no, he was also out, and he said the reason why he was out was because he had to take care of Kenny Omega. I love that dynamic between them two. So funny.
He really does treat Kenny Omega like he's his child or something.
Yeah, funny.
My
funny
son.
Stuff. Yeah.
So with this particular match, this is only going. This is a match that I think it doesn't have a finish.
Yeah, because
I don't think it's gonna have a finish.
Yeah, because this is leading to the Blood and Guts, probably,
which is on Wednesday.
Yeah.
So what I see happening with this particular match is I think It's the towel's going to be thrown in. The
Mhm.
referees are not going to be able to control them. Will the match actually be a match? Yes. Will the match go long? I don't think it's going to go long.
No.
I think it's 5 minutes tops
Hmm.
because I think the animosity between, especially Jericho, Guevara, Kingston, and Yuta,
Hmm.
and you got to admit, Suzuki loves to fight, so he's
Oh,
just gonna
he's
get
just there for blood, literally.
he's gonna just try. He's just gonna want to kill somebody.
Hmm.
So I think this particular match is. I don't think there's gonna be a winner. I think it's gonna be thrown out.
Yeah, I can
No
see that.
contest.
Yeah, because like
That's
you said, we've got Blood and Guts coming
mhm.
literally this
Yeah,
week.
and
And
and ooh, I can't wait to see it because first of all, I love Jericho and I love the Jericho Appreciation Society.
dude,
I did not know I wanted them so badly.
dude, it's so funny because so one of my favorite things they've done is when was it Daddy Magic when he came out and called the fans the AEW Galaxy. I
Yeah.
wanted to cry. And then, like, as a matter of fact, when they first made the faction, Jericho came out and said, "We're sports entertainers." I was like, "Yes, I love you, man." Like, he just like, and I don't know if Vince does ever watch this stuff. He's
No, he
probably
doesn't.
like
He doesn't.
fuming, like old man, like.
No, he's not.
But yeah,
No,
I know he
Vince
doesn't.
is honestly Vince is loving it. If he watched, he would love it.
I would hope so because you got
I
to give
think
credit
honestly,
where
I don't
credit's
think
due.
Vince is the type that hates it.
I would hope.
Hello, hey.
Hey,
That's
because
some
yeah,
that,
like
that's my
like.
family right there. Hey,
Oh,
fam.
nice. Because like Triple H, like he watches everything, and I know you can go back to like the throne smashing thing. I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure he's like, yo, this is genius. Like,
yeah.
yeah,
They're
because
they're all in on the game. It's us that think that they're battling against each other. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But I
But
think my favorite thing about the Jericho Appreciation Society, besides what you mentioned,
yeah,
is when you have Matt Menard. He's doing for over 14 weeks to
yeah,
recognize. Oh, like and every week it's like a different week.
dude. The whole New Day thing. Yeah, dude, and I still remember when he changed everybody's names. I was like, what are these names coming from? And that shirt, oh my god, he was
No,
wearing it on the event, the event at New York.
Jericho's such a genius, man. He really
Dude,
is.
the
He
wizard thing, bro. The
when he
wizard, because I'm a
and he was
wizard.
like, what kind of and the things he says, what kind of a man tries to set another man on fire?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, he's throwing fireballs to people because
Yeah,
he's a
yeah, yeah.
wizard.
Because I'm a
Yeah.
wizard, yo. Jericho. You know what's funny too, and a big reason why. First of all, a big reason why New Japan blew up the way it did was because of Jericho. Not saying they didn't put in the work. Not saying Bullet Club wasn't, but because Jericho is literally a household name.
Mhm.
When you hear Chris Jericho showing up on New Japan on Ring of Wrestle Kingdom, you're tuning in. And
Yeah,
there's a bunch of people who never probably, I'm not gonna say didn't know New Japan existed, but they didn't know New Japan existed and they tuned in. And
because of
I
him.
think
Yeah,
and I think honestly, what really solidified AEW happening was Jericho, because you've got like the Bucks and Kenny and Cody and all them. They had this idea, they had this thing. Tony provided the actual like financial side of it, and when you got a guy like Jericho and then you bring along JR, then it's
yeah.
the
Jericho's
icing.
inclusion to AW was all about the name value, who
Mm-hmm.
he was as a wrestler, and what he brings to the table. So
And
his his he's been there since forever.
he's been putting people over. I remember what also like what grind my gears is like when everybody hits you with the AEW is a new WCW TNA. Like, dude, when Jericho lost to MJF clean in the middle of the ring in a
Mhm.
pay-per-view, I was like, nah, that goes out the window. This isn't WCW, and we're talking about like later WCW.
Yeah,
But
and,
yeah,
it's more like for me, it's more like WCW before the Monday Night Wars.
yeah, it was like
So
the best WCW, like the
yeah,
best part of
the
WCW.
WCW, NWA, WCW,
Yeah,
where it
exactly.
was the 80s, where we
Hmm.
had Flair, we had Sting, we had the Horsemen, we had the Road Warriors, we had the Midnight Express, the Rocker. Like if you ever go back and
Yeah.
watch that era of WCW NWA, you'd be like almost every single person is a Hall of Famer. Just about every one of them.
Yeah,
Not
literally.
even like the whole
E-
thing's a main event card.
Even the jobbers, for
Yeah,
lack of
even the
better
jobbers.
words, are like,
You had
and they're not Hall of Famers because they were jobbers. They're Hall of Famers because they put in the work and they were like
yeah,
amazing at what they did, like.
it was great. It was
And
awesome.
if there was no flares and whatever, then they might not be jobbers. They might be the flair. So it's like
everybody, you got to go. If you go back to one of those really good ones, Flair versus Ricky Morton. Ricky Morton
Yes.
had no place to be in that match,
Nope.
and he was.
And you know what? The graphic we're looking at is kind of like almost mirroring that, because you've got Wheeler Yuta. 3 weeks before that match with John Moxley, nobody really like gave him a dude.
He had to leave the best friends. He had to leave.
Yeah, and when he had that match with John Moxley, bro, the entire arena was behind him. Sammy Guevara. I mean, despite all the stuff he's doing now with Ty Conti, which is still genius because they're working it. I love how they're working it into everything. But dude, he became like a household name when he won that TNT title for the first time. That was like
that's a big deal.
And then you've got Shota, who he's not really super well known over here unless you really watch wrestling. But I mean, dude, he's got the pedigree. I've seen him wrestle before. So like it's just amazing how like you were saying, like a guy like Ricky Morton, who really didn't have any business being in that picture. You look at the guys around these guys, and any other day they don't have that. It's the same thing, but these guys are just like on top of their game, and it's a testament to how like AEW really like treats their talent.
I agree. I definitely.
I wish other places would do that as well, because they've got like a lot of people sitting there that can be that dude, but they're manufacturing their talent, and it sucks. But yeah, man. So you're going with like no.
I'm going no contest, and that doesn't really happen in AEW, right?
No, yeah,
but
there has to be a reason for it.
I think this is a perfect opportunity for a no contest because we have Blood and Guts on Wednesday.
Yeah, and the implications for that are pretty big with the mystery opponent and all that. So that's gonna be. I also wonder if that person is gonna have a factor in this match at all.
I doubt it because of the other match.
That's the thing, yeah.
The other match is a little more important for them to do it. What I see happening is the rest of Jericho Appreciation Society, and Eddie Kingston. What I really wanted to see, which unfortunately we didn't get, was I was hoping to get the return of LAX. So they ended up giving us the the Blackpool Club, right? So that kind of stuff. I didn't really want to see that. I wanted to see LAX.
I actually didn't even think of that.
Yeah, because it's LAX. Think about it.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. I just didn't.
Santana, Ortiz, Hernandez, Homicide, perfect. They're all part of the same group. So it's a no-brainer. So I don't know why it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Unless it's some political thing. You can even throw in Conan into the mix in some way, right? You could have had a beautiful LAX match happening, but it's
because this is not like this is not like the IWGP title. Like this is just like one of those matches where you can have guys like Conan, people like that are not really well equipped to go, but they could still go in matches like this and a couple of spots here or there, nothing too crazy.
Because the way I see this, the way I'm envisioning the Forbidden Door to be is more of a Forbidden Door among wrestling as a whole.
Yeah.
Right? So even though it's an AEW New Japan thing, why not and unfortunately it's not going to happen, but why not give us AAA? Why not give us Impact included? AAA is not involved at all.
No.
Because they don't play nice with New Japan.
Yeah.
Right? So, but Impact, definitely. You could throw Impact in there.
Oh, yeah. I don't think this is like because this is the first of many. I'm pretty sure we're gonna get like Forbidden Door events. They might call them something different, maybe, but this is like just the start of something bigger. So, and I trust everybody that's behind this, because I feel like AEW, New Japan, Ring of Honor, Impact, for the most part, they're all good at long-term storytelling. I mean, these stories, that build and fester, and they come together at the right time. And like, AEW has been giving us so many gems and so many cool moments that, they got to space it out, like, I mean, we've got guys like, Gargano that are still waiting around. Hopefully one guy I would love to show up is Wyndham Rotunda. So these guys, I'm pretty sure they're gonna be here. It's just, slowly but surely. And then like the LAX thing, it's weird that they didn't cross my mind, but that'd be brilliant, and I could see that coming into play. Yeah.
And you got the LAX look right now. You know what I mean? All right, so let's go to our next card.
Yeah.
Another match that, well, first of all these guys are fantastic.
Yes.
But it's for a title that doesn't make any sense. What's your thought? First of all, before we start talking about the match, what's your thoughts on the All Atlantic Championship?
I think the belt is nice.
It's a nice belt. I agree. Yeah. I agree to that.
I think this might be I guess right now this could be treated as like their IC. Because the TNT title, that's one that's going to bounce around. So the one of the gripes I hear with some people is like, certain people not getting the belts. I'm a firm believer that most wrestlers don't need belts. I think that like it sucks that he's not in this, but Tomohiro Ishii never won the IWGP Heavyweight title. I think the only big title he won, maybe outside of the tag title, was the Never Open and in New Japan.
Yeah.
And he's never won their IC, but that doesn't make him any less of a wrestler. I mean, look at like Hiroki Goto. Guy's never won the I don't think he's won the IWGP title, but he is phenomenal from like, he's the guy that could be. So it's like, what was I trying to get at? Yeah, all these guys, like, so that whole thing, I think this is a good championship to give guys like Miro, Pac, Malachi, even Daniel Bryan, while certain guys are holding the world title, because the world title is not for everybody, and it doesn't need to be for everybody. And I'm not saying to like, do WWE and only make like two people title contenders all the time, but like the way they do things, you can give somebody like Miro, who I think deserves a belt. I think Miro is like, I mean, he's always been solid for the most part. But since he's been in AEW, you've seen, well, at least more recently with the whole Redeemer thing, he's just like something else.
The Redeemer character is insane.
Yeah, like so. I think I'm excited for it. I don't know if we were talking about this on the actual show or before the show, but there are times where like some builds for AEW matches and whatever are not the best for whatever reason, but the end game and the end product usually is nice. So I think in the long run, this is going to be a legit title.
Oh no, I think this is going to be a, like as they say, a barn burner of a match.
Oh yeah, the match, man. I mean, even like a Clark Connors, who maybe a lot of people don't know or not familiar with, he's gonna put out some stops. Yeah, he's obviously not gonna be the guy. But and this is another one too. Like, I want Malachi to win it, but Malachi's a guy that doesn't need a belt at all. Does he deserve a belt? Hell yeah. But he's got this whole like Bray Wyatt gimmick where like
he has the Undertaker, Ministry of Darkness thing going on for him.
So yeah, like I
think he has bigger things ahead of him.
Yeah, when you got guys like that, like a title is inevitable, but right now, like he doesn't need it. Pac, I think he's overdue for a title. Since he's been in AEW, it's been a weird thing because you've got Kenny, you got so Pac has kind of been in the I don't want to say limbo, because he's having fun.
He's been in the title card, but he never seems to make it to it, right? Because remember his match with Kenny Omega was amazing. One of the best matches. And Pac is one of those guys that, as much as I love the what's their name? The Triangle.
Oh, Death Triangle, yeah.
As long as I love the Death Triangle, I feel like he's out of place with them.
Yeah. It's a cool group. Don't get me wrong. Like they're awesome. But yeah, I feel like the Death Triangle. I mean, sorry. If they were to be teamed up with anybody, I think they would be great in the House of Black.
Yeah.
Especially Penta with his whole thing.
Yeah, like they turn on him. So I think well, before we even talk any further, who do you have winning this one? Because I have my pick, and I don't know if it's a popular pick, but I have my pick.
You brought up a turn after I brought up Death Triangle, so I don't think this is gonna happen. This is just like a random booking thing. I think Miro's gonna win it. I think the way you take Pac out, is these guys actually turn on him, because the House of Black seems to be still growing. That's a faction that's gonna get at least like too deep. So I don't know if Penta and Phoenix both turn on him on Pac, or if I don't know, but that's just like a random booking, like something just to get extra points on like a pick list or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna, damn, this is tough because I feel like I'm gonna bite my tongue, but I think Miro.
A lot of people are picking Miro. I'm everywhere I go, I'm hearing Miro. Honestly, I'll give it to Pac.
I wouldn't be mad at that.
I will give it to Pac because I think Pac deserves a title run of some kind.
Yeah, you know what? That's fair too, because Miro's another guy. Like, he's had the belt, but this Redeemer thing really adds fuel to the fire. Like, he's after something, and I think with a lot of wrestlers, the chase is bigger than the actual reign.
Yeah, I agree. And but in Miro's case, he's definitely a champion, and I feel like he should go to a next level. I think he's at that point where he is a main eventer.
Yeah,
right. I see it. Now. I think CJ Perry should pop in sooner or later.
Dude, I want to see that, man. Like,
right? No one wants to see her wrestle, but they want to see her with him.
Dude, with the Redeemer, like, she's always been a solid promo, at least when she was doing.
She's a good heel manager.
Exactly.
As far as a babyface wrestler, no. But a heel manager is the case.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's okay with that. I mean, she's not wrestling, she's okay with that. So, like, yeah, I would love to see that happen. I think she's fine.
I don't mind seeing Malachi winning it too, because
not at all. Yeah, I love him.
As far as the title goes, I think the title should have never been called the All Atlantic. I don't know what they were thinking at that moment.
Name is weird. Yeah, I will admit that. I think it should have been
called the AEW International title or the All Nations title. That's probably make more sense because they got Japan in it, and Japan's not in the Atlantic.
Yeah, that I was. It's funny. I was listening to the Unrestricted podcast, and they were talking about the title, and I'm just like, how? Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna nitpick or whatever, but yeah, they should have. I think the names you proposed probably would have been a little better. Especially
All Nations sounds great. If you did All Nations, that's perfect.
All Nations is actually real. That's a really good name. It gives it this sort of like UN type of feel where it's like very important. But yeah, and then because I don't know, that's a good name. We should talk to Tony.
Bring
Gunn. You get him on the horn. I'm gonna send him a text message.
I think they're gonna hear it enough that they are gonna change the title's name.
Yeah, I think
listen. They're gonna listen to it. All right, so we got that one. You're going Miro. I'm going Pac. All right, so let's go to our next match. The match that we never asked for, but we all seem to want.
Man. Dude, that pop when Orange came back. He wasn't even gone for that long.
No, he wasn't.
He's something else, man. I remember my first introduction to him was in the one of their the battle royale things. I think it was it was All In, I think.
Yeah.
And I just remember the kick thing. I was like, who the F is this guy?
You gotta see his other matches. He has some great matches.
I went back and I watched his catalog. Like,
you ever seen his match with Velveteen Dream?
Dude. I'm so mad he did what he did, man. Velveteen was just so good. He
was someone that had a future, and he just
when he came out in the Macho Man gear and the Hogan gear and even dropped the leg drop, bro. I was like, what? He got better every match.
I love when he had the tights that he says, "Vince, call me up."
Yo, yes, dude, he was so good.
He was like, he had the potential to become someone that MJF is becoming.
Yeah.
Right? So I think that's the kind of potential he had.
And I think he would have got a lot more heat because he was black, which would have been like really great, like just to empower that like sort of but yeah, he messed that all up, man.
He messed it up, man. I and who knows, some people could come back, some people can't. I don't think he has that capability of making that comeback. I wish he did, because I think he had all the talent in the world, especially with his fight with Aleister Black.
Aleister, the one he had with Ciampa.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was good. But enough talking about him. Let's talk about
Yeah.
these two. As far as my understanding of Orange Cassidy goes,
Mhm.
I was following Orange Cassidy for a while too, and again, you got to see his stuff with Danhausen. Him and
Oh,
Danhausen are a gem together.
so when I first discovered Danhausen, like, I mean, I've seen his face pop up a lot. But then I watched like some of his podcasts, but I made it my thing to not watch his matches because I knew he could go. I've heard he could wrestle, but it was one of those things I wanted to be fully surprised when he actually, because when he popped up in AEW, and I wanted to be like fully surprised because my ass will go and watch every single match. So yeah, but I once he has like, now I guess at this point I could sit down and watch it because he sort of had a match, but
Sort of.
yeah, Orange
He
is
has his
just,
hair is now like Hook. He's trying to put his hair as Hook. That's just too funny.
dude, that whole thing. I'm a little mad though. I did want to see them fight because that was
I think
like,
it'll eventually happen. I think
yeah,
there'll be something sooner or later.
but it was still cool how they turned that around and they made that
Yeah,
a thing.
yeah. Last thing before we talk about Will, because there's one more thing I'll share with you
Yeah,
about
yeah.
Orange. Is Orange was at Comic-Con this
Hmm.
past year, and we managed to meet up with him, talk with him, and things like that. And Danhausen was there, also MJF, but
Hmm.
um, yeah, again, I didn't know about their chemistry together, how close they are in real life. Um, but it was so funny because Danhausen is the one guy that has Orange Cassidy's buttons,
Oh, I
right?
that
So there's something intriguing in that, right? So it's so funny, and I said, and it was obviously Danhausen wasn't in the AEW at the time, but I told Orange, I said, when are you gonna get him in the AEW? And his answer, and he's always cool and calm, right? He actually was like, dude, I'm trying to get rid of him. You know what I mean? With he had spunk to him. But the
Mhm.
other thing about it is that afterwards, so we got to talk to Orange. My wife took a photo with him and stuff like that. So a few hours later, we're walking the show. We're walking, and he just happens to be walking the show as well. And he was looking at some stuff, and my daughter goes to his back and she taps his back and
Yeah.
goes boo to Orange, right? So like anybody else, they'll get startled and stuff. He didn't get startled. He
Mhm.
turned around and he said to my daughter, "You scared me."
The fact that he's still in character is wild.
Like it was perfect, man. So I love guys who keep their character
There,
alive.
there's like a little documentary about
Oh
him.
yeah, I seen it.
Yeah, that thing was so good, man.
It's a good
After I saw the kick thing, I was like, I went and I found that, and I was like,
Yeah,
dude,
he's good. Like he was definitely good. But speaking of good,
oh, Osprey, he's a freak, bro. He is a
Will
freak.
Osprey. When I learned about Will Osprey was with his match with Ricochet,
Oh yeah.
which they were just flipping all over the place. Like,
Hmm.
we talk about the Young Bucks, we talk about Penta and Phoenix.
Hmm.
Will Osprey and Ricochet was doing it before they did.
Yeah, yeah. I have a funny story with well, it's not funny, but it's a story. So Will Osprey's song "Elevated," right?
Mhm,
A friend of mine by the name of Kevin Lacerda, he was once in his band called It Lives It Breathes. He's currently in a band called Damnation.
mhm.
He actually did the song for Osprey, the Elevated song. And that was pretty wild. I was like, yo, my friend made that song. So like when I was in MSG and like I'm hearing my dude's song in MSG, like that was pretty wild. So just to know somebody that did a theme song for somebody, which is pretty cool. Then unfortunately there was issues with the label. The label that they were a part of at the time was asking for more money from New Japan, so they weren't able to play the song in certain areas, things like that.
Mhm.
Then I think they did another song under the other band Damnation. Forget the name of that song, but then eventually he changed the song. But yeah, that was pretty cool. That little connection I have to Osprey, which is
That's cool.
dope. Yeah.
Right. So with this
Mhm.
particular match, with both Osprey in particular,
Mhm.
sorry, Orange, gotta go well.
Oh, we all know
Right.
Osprey. I mean, and dude, Osprey. I mean, I remember, I've watched his come up in New Japan, and he was like a smaller guy.
Yeah.
He's a monster now, bro.
Oh no, he's big, dude.
Yeah, dude.
When you seen him, he bulked up.
Yeah, it's like when you
I
see him
kind of
doing
wish
these.
he wasn't as bulky though,
Yeah,
because
because
I
when he
think he's
does
not
these
moving as
dives,
fast anymore.
yeah, exactly. Because he was, dude. I mean, like all the stuff he was doing, and then like those suicidas and all that. Like
Yeah.
you kind of got to stop doing that now, bro. You might hurt yourself and other people, but it's amazing to see what he could do, and just to see his come up and him winning the IWGP title. And I still remember when he called out in New Japan Strong, he was calling out everybody at an AEW or whatever, like when the Forbidden Door was first a thing. I think he was calling out, was it Kenny at the time?
He was calling out Kenny.
It was Kenny, yeah.
Because Will Ospreay is one of those guys where Will Ospreay is in that echelon of New Japan wrestlers that are going to be superstars. He's already a superstar. He already won the title, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he had to give up the title due to injury, but he played with it when he returned, right? He played with the whole storyline.
Oh yeah, like he never won the belt.
Like he never lost the belt.
I mean, he never lost the belt, and that Shingo was a fake champion. That was
and that was a weird time for New Japan in particular because they were giving the title to what's his name, Evil.
Evil. Yeah,
I was like, where's Evil today? Unfortunately,
yeah, not a shot at Evil because Evil's amazing, but yeah, it was weird.
It wasn't his place.
No, yeah. Again, this is one of those things we were saying. Not everybody needs the title. Like you could still be top of the line, dude. And
yeah. So in Will Ospreay's case, I think Will Ospreay is that guy. First of all, he's that guy that WWE is dying to get.
Oh, dude, I hope to God that he never goes there. But yeah, they do.
I don't think I don't think he would. For him to go there, he would have to be, first of all, been given a boatload of money, and really be given the Cody treatment.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he's gonna have to get going in there because he's that important to New Japan, to the future of wrestling. Will Ospreay is the guy that's going to be the guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He's the next Kenny Omega. He's that guy, right? He's the next he's the next guy that is going to be the heavyweight champion. He has everything in him to be that. And he was the heavyweight champion. It's just, where is he going in Western wrestling? AEW definitely I think will treat him like gold. But at the same time, it's a bloated roster. So on it, as much as I love Orange, this is Will.
Yeah. Like Orange is gonna put on a match. Like he's probably gonna pull out some stops that, like, one of those things where how he is. He's just chill and then he just goes off. We're gonna see some crazy spots. But yeah, this is clearly like Ospreay. I mean, it's gonna be a fun match regardless. But yeah, this is an easy one. If Orange were to win this, I think it would be like hell freezing over type of deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, also too, like, to give credit to Ospreay, like his I think was it last year? It might have been early last year. He had that match with, I don't know if they're still together, but B Priestley. It was like at the beginning of the year. They had
they are still together.
Okay, well, yeah, they had that match together, and dude, that was like match of the year candidate. Like, I mean, just to be able to like have a wrestling match with your girl, like that's got to be like the most. And I'm not even being sarcastic. That's got to be like the most healthiest thing ever. Because if there's any animosity or whatever, like, you just settle it there and beat the crap out of each other in the confines of wrestling. And but yeah,
it's just not a bedroom match, right?
Yeah, that they probably had afterwards, makeup. But yeah, dude, he's just so good, and to see the come up and to see him actually appear, because I was like, oh snap, like it was so cool. But yeah, this is gonna be a fun one. But yeah, obviously it's gonna be Willie boy.
All right. Let's go with the next match, which is the only female match in the entire card, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And also unfortunately is not a co-promotion match.
Yeah, that they missed.
I love this. I love the idea of this match. I want to see this match. I am a huge Toni Storm fan. I love Toni. First time I saw her, I immediately fell in love with her as a wrestler because she is the whole thing, right? And she has this attitude about herself that is just that I love. I absolutely love that attitude, right? That she has. She was shortchanged in WWE. I don't know
Mhm.
what were they thinking with her. They do things with people like Lacey Evans when they have Tony Storm. You know what I mean?
Dude, you've got Tony Storm. You have Shotzi Blackheart. Dude, Shotzi Blackheart is amazing. And what are they doing with her?
Well,
Liv
look
Morgan.
at Shayna Baszler.
Oh, dude, Shayna Baszler. I was never a big fan of the MMA people in wrestling to an extent. But she, I respected her with every match in NXT.
Well, her NXT matches were awesome.
Yeah, I didn't, like I said, I wasn't a big fan, but she gained my respect. And then to see her go to the main roster and like running from a doll, bro, bad, bro. And then like to digress real quick, my girl Liv Morgan, bro, like they put her in these like fake, like we're gonna push you feuds and like the whole Bullet Club thing, and then for what? To break it up? She needs to go. She needs to leave. She needs to go to AEW and team up with Ruby Soho, and then call it a day. But WWE's gonna hold on to her because she's blonde.
Well, would it have been the case with Tony?
Oh yeah, I don't know. I guess
you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. It's like Tony Storm was that person.
She was so
I don't know what went wrong there.
Yeah, it was weird.
But Liv Morgan is homegrown. I don't see her going anywhere.
That's the thing. Yeah, it kind of sucks
because
Ruby
made her
before. Yeah, Ruby came before. So,
yeah.
But I don't know. Like, I there's some people, but yeah, Tony. I remember her in the tournaments. The
tournaments was awesome.
That was like my first introduction to her.
And she should have won the Owen Hart Cup. Honestly, she should have won it.
It was a weird decision, though. I'm not mad at the power couple thing.
But the power couple thing didn't do anything.
That's my
issue. It didn't go anywhere.
It's not. It doesn't seem like it's going anywhere. It would have been cool if they did.
I think they dropped it already. Because Adam Cole's not walking around with the title. Britt, kind of.
Adam Cole, I not this week, but I think the week before he had it.
He had it, but this week it's gone.
Yeah. Also, don't think that's like necessarily like a title. That's just more like
not a title.
Carrying the trophy with them.
Yeah, it's the same thing as Braun Strowman's greatest Royal Rumble title, right?
I would like to see them bring back the tournament every year and defend that title as like let that be the trophy every year. So it's like the title's still in motion, but only for that. Like,
well, I would like it to be their version of G1.
Oh, dude, yeah, because and that's one thing. AEW clearly likes tournaments, which is great. So yeah, that would be cool if they do some kind of G1 thing because, it would just make sense because you're able to include that big roster and give people light without having them, be a champion or whatever. So
and utilize the other shows, right? Even though no one really watches them. Like I don't watch Dark. I
used to keep up with it as much as possible,
but they could always advertise them like it's gonna. This match is gonna be the preliminary matches. They could do them in Dark, right?
Yeah, because people. I mean, and the cool thing about it is you don't have to watch it right away. You can watch it.
You can tune into it. You can fast forward to that match. That kind of stuff. In this particular case, this is a match that doesn't belong in this card, and that's the sad thing about the match because
it's
this is a match that anywhere else. This will be a pay-per-view level. This is a pay-per-view level match. Yeah. It's not the right pay-per-view for it.
Yeah.
Right? So this is a match that should have been put on hold, in my opinion. And what they should have done is that they should have gone one of the Japanese wrestlers.
Yeah. I'm actually really surprised because my thing is like once New Japan sort of acquired Stardom or whatever it was, I was like I would have liked to see more. I would like to see more Stardom.
I agree.
Like I haven't watched really any Stardom though. You've heard names, Tony Storm being one of them. I think the thing that really got me intrigued about Stardom the most is when Hana Kimura, when I found out about her passing. I had no idea who she was. Yeah, I'll be perfectly honest. But for some reason, that whole situation shook me, and I got like touched by it, and I went back and like watched a bunch of videos of hers and her matches. And this never really happened to me where like I have no type of connection to the person. I don't even know who they are. And I just felt like overwhelmed by them taking their own lives. And it's like a girl like her would have been a huge star. But anyways, like that was like one of the few times I've really that was the start of me sort of like kind of keeping, like I do follow Stardom on YouTube.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, it would have been a nice because just to have like some kind of inclusion from the female part of.
Yeah, like they could have gotten, if you didn't want to get a Japanese, stardom wrestler, you
Mhm.
could have just picked up a Kairi Sane and be like, Kairi, you want to do a one off,
Oh, dude, that would have been. Oh my god, actually, I didn't even think of that. That would have
right?
been ginormous.
Right, get a name a person with name quality, however, that is also considered, foreign, as
Yeah.
we'll say, right? So Kairi Sane, who's been sitting there, I'm sure she would have came in.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
sure she would have come in.
Yeah.
Mickey James would have been perfect
Yeah.
too. You could
The
have thrown a James in.
the only thing I'm not holding too much like
Gail Kim.
I'm not holding. Yeah, Gail Kim, perfect. But I'm not like holding a lot of these choices against them because there's also like the travel issue. I know maybe it could have been worked out, but I don't know, like that. It's not as simple as like somebody just coming from Japan to here. I'm pretty sure Japan still has strict like COVID guidelines, so that could be in play, but I don't know 100%. But it would have
Yeah.
been nice, man. Yeah, because that's the one thing. Like when I heard about the Forbidden Door, obviously you think about the women's division, and like, yeah, dude, I didn't even think of Kyrie saying that would have been wild.
Yeah.
Like it's a
And,
literal
and,
one match, and
and that's one of the problems AEW has in particular with the women. They have not been able to take this women's division to the next level that they probably should have,
yeah,
right? The women, say what you want to say about Brandy. Brandy's part in play was the fact that she was like, women are going to get the same pay as the men. The
mm-hmm.
women are going to get the same billing as the men.
Yeah,
That hasn't happened. I don't know about, the pay is one thing, but I'm saying
yeah,
as far as being in the card and having that same, you know, importance as the men are.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Again, this is the only female women's match.
yeah. I also
Something
don't
wrong there.
think it's like purposeful. Like it's not
I
like
don't think it's
yeah,
not on purpose, but it's
it's
not
just
being paid attention to.
yeah. It's also it kind of falls like underneath like everything else that's happening, which kind of sucks. But I would like to see it pick up. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm thinking this is not even related to this, but if Miss Banks is
Mhm.
leaving and she comes this way, and I know, dude, Tony's probably just waiting. If she's still interested in wrestling, whatnot, that might
Oh
be
no,
the
because of, remember, Snoop is down with them.
yeah. Oh yeah. Ooh. So that'll be the one thing that like
You know.
will push them because all right, Tony's amazing. Thunder Rose is amazing. Britt has been killing it. Ruby Soho's killing it. They've got a lot of talent there. There's no denying that. But though they are missing an actual star.
Well,
And
and Athena, don't forget Athena.
Athena, dude, I'm so happy to see her, man. Like
Mhm.
she's just like I know she kind of fell victim to injury in
Mhm.
WWE to an extent.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm happy to see her here. I mean, Jamie Hayter's amazing. I've been following Jamie Hayter since she was in Stardom.
Mhm.
So like, there's a lot of talent there. But yeah, it's one of those things where like, Hikaru Shida, sorry, forgot about her.
Mhm.
But I think they are missing that actual star. And
Yeah.
if Sasha comes this way, I promise you that building wherever she steps will collapse. Like it will literally collapse, and that might be the one thing to shake the entire. Also, believe it or not, I mean, it's great that AEW, I mean, Dynamite's only 2 hours. I don't mind long wrestling, but it prevents it from being, and
Well, this is going to be a long card.
well, oh no, dude, I don't. The pay-per-views, I don't mind. Like, what was it? The last event?
The pay per view. If a pay per view goes to 1 o'clock, it's too long for me.
Oh yeah, the last one. Well, the last one was in like what? Vegas. So that kind of
Yeah,
like. But that was
it went to almost 1.
yeah, that was long. But for some reason, that last one. I mean, yeah, I do get tired, but it's like it's quality. It's not like you're just watching like 3-4
Yeah.
hours of Flow Rider
Mhm.
or Pitbull singing for no reason. But yeah, no. What was I saying? Like with like I don't know, like it's I think they need more time on TV, like another like hour on Rampage or something like that.
Mhm.
Earlier, obviously, but then also I don't know if that's gonna hurt them. So it's
Yeah,
weird. The
yeah,
women's
I agree.
division will probably benefit from more time, but that'll probably
Yes.
come in due time.
So with this particular match, who do you got winning?
This is interesting. I I love Thunder. I don't think her reign has been is not knock on her. I just think she should have the belt for longer. but I think Tony taking it might be like a big shakeup for the division. So it's one of those things. It's hard, man. This whole show, it's like if you had to like, if I had to put money on stuff, I'd probably lose a lot of money. But damn.
DraftKings, man, use DraftKings.
Yeah, right. We should just plug that in. Maybe we'll get sponsors. Damn. I'm gonna say Tony's gonna take it. I don't know. My booty hole is going in that direction.
I love Tony. I love her, and I want her to be champion, and I know she's gonna be champion. But I think Thunder's gonna leave with the title.
It's funny. I'm putting all these picks in. So we do this thing over here. We've been actually we started last with Double or Nothing. I've been defending like our titles. So I have like the UK title and the NXT title. We finally put that to use and did our picks or whatever. Kayla almost won it. Kudos to her. She was kicking ass on the sheet. So yeah, but all these picks, I don't know. It's gonna be weird. I'm gonna probably go against everything I just told you. Because I'm gonna sit down and think about it. But yeah, it could go either way. I'm gonna say
I think it could go either way. I agree with that. But I think in this particular instance, I think Thunder Rosa is gonna win it. Maybe there'll be shenanigans, but then again, that's the WWE thing, and usually they like giving a winner for these title matches. So
yeah, this has been the toughest like AEW card I've ever had to like.
I think Thunder's gonna win it by the skin of her teeth.
Yeah, I just hope it's not a roll up.
Yeah,
hope to God it's not a roll up. But
the most devastating move in all of sports entertainment.
Yeah, I mean the one thing though, a lot of the women's matches are decided via roll up. And I guess it keeps people whatever. But also, I think it was Tony. Put somebody in a roll up on Dynamite, which was really really solid. I'll give her credit for that. That looked like a legit roll up. But yeah, I'm gonna stick with Tony. I guess we'll be 50-50 on this.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to our next match, which has a lot of speculation going on to it. Because the person that it should have been, unfortunately, can't make the match, which I'm so sad to hear about. About Bryan Danielson not being able to wrestle. Thank goodness it wasn't a concussion issue, because if it was a concussion issue, that's pretty much he's done.
Yeah.
But let's talk about, before we start saying who we think it is.
Let's talk about
Zack Sabre. Yeah, let's talk about Zack Sabre. Zack Sabre is one of those guys that he would never. I don't ever see him being a WWE guy.
No.
Right?
They would turn him into that Dolph Lundgren. If he dies, he dies. Like they will literally turn him into that. Like, so
he's the kind of guy that is a pure wrestler.
Yes.
With the stuff he does. Like I would have loved to see his matches with Pete Dunne. You know what I mean?
God. I love PD. Oh, R.I.P. Pete Dunne. It's Butch now, bro. It's Butch.
Right, but his the way he is a clinic when he's he's like a wrestling clinic, and the way he just puts people in these moves that you just look at him, it's like, how is that humanly possible that he could do that kind of stuff?
Dude, I fell in love with him after the first match I saw him.
It's such a shame, because Bryan Danielson would have been so perfect for this match, right?
Yeah.
And I know we're gonna get that match, because we are. It's gonna happen. But I'm so happy at what the potential is gonna be. Right? So I'll ask you.
Okay.
Who is it gonna be?
Okay, so one of my thoughts was Johnny Gargano. Obviously, he's been sitting there waiting. Now, he's not known as a technical wrestler, although he is
Johnny Wrestling.
He is a very technical wrestler. But when you think of Johnny Gargano, you don't automatically go to like that technical side of it. Like oh my god, dude! Every time Black Sabre Jr. Why am I drawing blanks? Jonathan Gresham. There you go. You don't think of guys like him. You don't think of Dean Malenko. But I'm gonna rule him out just because it's one of two guys. So I think it's gonna be Cesaro. Reason why, not only because Daniel Bryan did say they were friends. So there's obviously a link between all these guys. Also, you got to look at the link between Cesaro and Eddie Kingston.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah, because dude, when Cesaro left and then Eddie put out that tweet saying you won't come to AEW or whatever, or you're too bitch to come to AEW, something like that. Oh, you don't have the balls, whatever. I thought that was brilliant.
Yeah.
So that's the obvious though. This one is a stretch, and I want to throw this out there because if I had to pick like a very obscure out there guy, Marty Scurll. Now I know
Marty Scurll. Yeah, I would have loved to see Marty.
Yeah,
I miss Marty. I really do miss Marty, and he got himself into trouble.
That's yeah.
Which is the hard part because we have not seen Marty.
No, he's been
Marty's gone.
like yeah, he's been like he's on that sort of trajectory of like making amends. Like I've been seeing him a lot more. He's been doing stuff in Puerto Rico. He had this little thing with Flip where Flip Gordon was like supposedly like imagining like they would show he's like, you're not real. So trajectory now, like I said, this is like an out there wild card. Because dude, I remember going back when AEW first happened. Marty Scurll was the dude that was sort of working to make that Forbidden Door happen. He was working to make amends between ROH, New Japan, and AEW, and then that happened. So yeah, that's just
he was the one guy that was still under contract and he couldn't leave.
Yeah, but he was like, at least he was like trying to patch things up because he believed in like this cross promotion. And do I think he's actually going to be that guy? Like, probably no. I don't know if he's at that point yet. And with Tony Khan has to be very careful with who he brings in. Because he doesn't want to ruin any reputations. Though Tony Khan is, like you've seen, he's very forgiving if you're willing to put in that work and show that you're actually apologetic and sorry. Like you look at Sammy Guevara, that whole thing with Sasha that happened a long time ago. I mean, not a cool thing to say, but both sides, everybody showed that like we're past this. So if they can reach that with Marty, another reason why I don't think it's necessarily Marty, because Marty, he's been in that New Japan thing, so it's not really like a Forbidden Door thing to an extent. But yeah, I'll go Cesaro. But if Marty shows up, I will poop my pants.
So I think for everything you said, I think it's gonna be Cesaro.
Yeah,
I think all signs are pointing to Cesaro. I think if I was a betting man, I would bet Cesaro.
Yeah, that's the easier.
My wild card, if there is a wild card, oh man, there's stuff going on in your neighborhood.
Oh, dude, like whenever I stream, I love like letting people know this is like the just the ambiance, bro. It's soundtrack, but yeah, it could be worse though. Believe it or not, like
it could be worse, right?
Kayla works from home and she's got to endure a lot of crap. But yeah.
I'm in the 9th floor, so you hardly hear anything
Nice.
from my area. So Cesaro is my pick of who's showing up. I honestly believe it's going to be Cesaro, just like David thinks it's going to be Cesaro. David, what's up, man? I haven't seen you in a while, man. I miss you, bro.
Yeah.
My wild card, and I think you're going to like my wild card.
Ooh, I'm excited to hear what this is.
Nick Aldis.
Dude, that would be wild. That would be
Aldis
really
needs to get out of NWA.
Yeah,
I'm
dude,
sorry, man.
That match he had with Cody and All In, phenomenal. Like the presentation and everything.
The amount of money that he's leaving off the table, man.
Mm-hmm.
That guy he's a star anywhere he goes.
Oh, dude, he's like the quintessential, like, I mean, he's the star of every generation. Like, you could put him in any decade and he'd kill it,
He is Ric Flair, Nick Bockwinkel. He brings those vibes when as a wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact of the matter that he is still in NWA. Now, no knock on NWA, man. I love NWA. I think they're a great promotion.
Yeah.
But
he's done a lot for them. He's done what can he do there?
He's done there.
Yeah.
So, you know, he needs to leave, man. I'm sorry, man. Nick, if you are watching, you need to go, bro. You need to go somewhere else. You need to become bigger. And you know what? He got Mickey James. They're married
Yeah.
and stuff like that. I don't know what he wants for his future in particular,
Mm-hmm.
but if I see a Nick Aldis Zack Sabre Jr. match, that's it. I'm happy.
You
I'm not
want
gonna complain.
No, dude, I'm surprised I didn't think of him. Like he's a dude that's just there. He's very like he exists. Like everybody knows him, and I didn't think of that. Like I
Yeah,
was
he's
automatic.
like
Like you know what it is? I think we all go to like ex WWE people. That's the thing because it's an easy thing to do because you want to see those guys succeed, and be. You know who a real balls to the walls prediction. I know this is not going to happen, even though it technically could, because I don't think he's under official contract. Dolph Ziggler. There's no reason
he's
why
not going there.
There's no reason why he would be
He's
in
not
this
leaving
match.
WWE at this point. He's never leaving there.
But dude, every time I like see him pop up on like
He just
being the
showed up.
elite, or dude, this is going back to after Cody left and Dolph Ziggler's contract was kind of coming up, and he was doing that whole like coming out to no music with the black and white attire.
I don't know what happened there. I don't know what happened with that story.
And I remember when he fought Goldberg.
Yeah,
he got squashed, and he dropped. He was cursing, and he also dropped the professional wrestling word.
Yeah,
and I was like, "Yo, that's it." It seemed like it was he's done, like he was gone. And then he shows up the next day, and like I think he won the U.S. title or something.
They should put his brother then to fight Zack Sabre Jr.
Nemeth. Dude, I love Ryan Nemeth. I mean, he's not going anywhere anytime soon. But he's got potential to be like, not gonna be like a top guy. He's not his brother, but that's fine. I don't think he wants to be his brother. But I mean, hey, let him grow out his hair and pretend to be his brother. I'll be fine with that. That's the closest thing I'll get to like a Dolph Ziggler.
He looks like Dolph. They look alike, man. They definitely look alike.
Man. That's one pipe dream that like I've been dying for. I remember when Cody left and how successful he was, and just imagine if Dolph actually left. I mean, Dolph he has everything, man. He's the mic skills, the energy, the actual wrestling skill. But anyways, that's just my pipe dream, but that's not happening. So I guess we can all agree it'll probably be Cesaro.
So we got this message from Johnny. I think Johnny, because his history with William, and he was on Sammy. So I'm thinking you're saying Johnny Gargano. That's what Mark. Yeah.
That's a viable, like, I mean,
I wouldn't be upset.
If you look at the graphic, I know this is a mislead. It kind of gives off Johnny vibes.
I think the graphics.
It also looks like Kenta, if you want to be real, but it's not going to be Kenta because it's
not going to be Kenta.
The only, I mean, I'm kind of mad that they didn't go with Kenta and Punk, but I mean, that would have been
good, but we wouldn't get it. We wouldn't have been able to get it anyway.
Well, exactly. But Johnny's a solid. I would be happy as shit, man. I'm dying to see Johnny, and and then maybe Ciampa will follow him.
Hey, Marcus, since you're watching on Twitch, make sure you leave make sure you come back to the YouTube channel, leave a comment on the YouTube channel. That way I could get you a chance to win this Hulk's number 6 variant. So Marcus, if you're watching, bro, go ahead into YouTube and leave a comment there, and I'll make sure you get put in the entry for the Hulk book. All right, so let's go to our next card here. Now we're going to the big game, the big matches, right? The big matches. This is the match that I think was WWE booking. I think this match was WWE booking. They made it more complicated than it was.
Yeah.
But I also believe that Okada is there because of the injuries.
Yeah.
Okada wasn't supposed to be here.
No.
Right?
And his wife probably gave birth earlier or something like that. I don't know the story about that, but
I think Okada's placement in the match is there because of the fact that we lost Ishii, the fact that we don't have Punk. Sort of like we apologize, so take Okada, which is fair because So in this particular match, it's hard to say. This is one of those matches I really don't know who's going to win it.
Yeah.
Because Jay White just won the belt.
Yeah.
So will you turn JY into a transitional champion? I don't think so.
No, he's too big. I mean,
Right? But do you want to do something where the IWGP championship is won by AEW wrestler?
because this kind of goes into the next match.
Right?
Well, the main event. So yeah, that's actually a good point. And New Japan's been pretty ballsy with their title lately. So I
Yeah.
can, Adam Cole never did. He was an IWGP.
No, he never
wasn't.
had the
No,
title.
it was Styles, right? No, was it Styles? But Styles won the IC.
No, Styles did win the belt.
Oh, he did. Okay.
Yeah, Styles did win the
Okay,
belt.
so yeah, Adam Cole never got a chance to win it.
Adam Cole left by then. He was
Yeah.
gone. So if anyone should be the winner, and if Jay doesn't win, which I think he will, I think it's Adam Cole's title.
That would be and it works in a lot of different ways. You know, you've got the he has history there, obviously big history. And then there's also the Bullet Club Elite story.
Yeah,
there's a lot of
I
things
think
you
they want to grow that storyline because I think All Out is going to be a cross promotion.
Yeah,
I think there will be a cross promotion in All Out. I think All Out's going to go there.
Yeah, especially if like CM Punk could come back by that time. Yeah, that's definitely
Yeah,
gonna be.
which he had some kind of leg surgery. It had something to do with his legs.
Yeah, it wasn't
So,
crazy.
If it was an ankle surgery, then that's even worse, though. But,
Yeah.
But if it was if it was like maybe a quad or something, like he was walking, so.
Mhm. And,
So I don't know.
Also with like Adam Cole, like it would be kind of like the biggest FU to Jay White to actually take the belt from him when you're like, hey, you don't want to give me the shot, now I'm gonna take the belt from you.
Well, yeah, and that's the whole thing. That the whole storyline is that we're buds, and Adam Cole is the biggest. He's one of the biggest two-faced guys out there, right?
Yeah, he's doing it with the Elite right now. With the Bucks and them.
So with Jay White's just a straight up jerk. You know what I mean? He doesn't hide it. You know
That's
what I mean?
the thing. Yeah, he's
But Adam is sleazy. You know what I mean? So Adam being sleazy. Hangman, no. I'm sorry. Hangman needs to go back and kind of. I think Hangman needs to find a way to reinvent himself in some way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying get rid of the cowboy, but find something different.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because somehow it's not working.
He's gonna figure it out. I know that for a fact because he is gonna be that dude. But yeah, it's not a knock on like him or his matches, but yeah, there's just something missing there.
There's something off, you know.
And
when
also, sorry.
Yeah, he was definitely the guy he was better chasing the title.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah,
than winning the title. Because once he won the title, it was like my story is over.
Yeah, and I liked it. He had a good run. Don't like the matches were good, but yeah, like I was saying before, like the chase sometimes is bigger than the actual win.
Yeah.
I mean, I know the whole Kenny winning the IWGP title, it came at a weird time because that's when like AEW kind of came into effect. But that run trying to get the title, dude, I'm mad that I got that spoiled for me. I was at work and I saw my phone by accident, but I promise you, if I would have watched that match with no spoilers, I would have probably teared up.
Yeah,
because dude, it was just such a bit. I mean, I still felt emotion when I watched it, but yeah. So sometimes with some people, the chase is a lot more.
Yeah,
you know. But yeah, Hangman, he's gonna be that dude. He's young as hell, anyways. I mean, like in wrestling, you know, the wrestling world.
Yeah, and as far as Okada goes, man. I think Okada's coming in just to have him in the match because we're missing people and people can't wrestle. Honestly, I think this is a crowded match.
Yeah.
I don't think. My personal opinion is that I felt that this match should have been a one-on-one match, and it turned into a four-way, especially when we have a four-way already, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of that going
There's
on.
There's four ways, there's three ways. There's a lot of that going on. There's not a lot of singles matches.
Cue the Pornhub song.
So there's not a lot of singles matches. So
yeah,
I honestly I think Adam's gonna walk out with the belt, and I think they're gonna do a summer run with him with this title, so they could do something, so they could continue some kind of relationship.
Yeah,
because again, if he wins the butterfly belt, then they will definitely have some kind of relationship together. Because I think the next match that we're going to talk about in a minute is going to be the match that's going to, I have a feeling someone's going to win it. in that match that's
Yeah.
going to keep the momentum alive between the Forbidden Doors.
Yeah. I also like I wonder how much, I mean, obviously there's all the injuries and stuff, because that really, I think this lineup, this actual like final card was probably way different like 2-3 weeks ago.
Oh yeah, I don't think this was gonna be. I don't think this was gonna be a match. I don't know where the Jay White of it all came into
Yeah.
play.
I also wonder because so my initial thing with this was after like Hangman called out Okada, Okada ended up losing, then Jay White shut him down, and then Adam Cole wanted the match, but then Jay White shut him down. So I was thinking we were gonna finally get Kenny. But I don't think that he's probably not ready yet. Also, I think that Kenny thing is gonna come at like a sort of like maybe like a blow off type thing. Like he's gonna probably come back and help the Bucks after Adam Cole does his dirty stuff, something along those lines. Because I think that's what it seemed like they were going at. With the whole like undisputed elite. I felt like Kenny was gonna come in and just like get that big pop and sort of like fix the relationship between him and the Bucks, or not fixable because he left on good terms with them, but you know what I mean, just like do that face run with them again. So I'm wondering how much of this match actually also came at the expense of like, well, not at the expense, but came at like because Kenny wasn't ready yet, maybe.
And who knows what was going to happen. You know, they had to have talks months in advance. They couldn't just say, hey, let's put a pay-per-view in a couple of weeks.
This is not like a just a regular like indie show where it's just like, oh, let's do this. This was definitely something that's probably been planned for a while, but injuries happen. So I agree, it's probably gonna be either Jay or Adam. It's gonna be a dope match though, I think
I think it's gonna be great. I think the fact that it's a 4-way match helped, because then you could have two guys fighting in one corner while another two are fighting, instead of having the typical 3-way match where two guys are fighting.
One guy's down,
resting somewhere, right?
Cameraman's gonna have a production team is gonna have a lot of work for that match.
If they got Kevin Dunn, man, they'll be able to flip the cameras.
Listen, that okay. If WWE didn't have that like change the camera angle every like millisecond,
it's crazy.
Probably be able to watch it, but like it's so bad. Like I don't know why shaky cam has been dead for a long time. Like I don't know.
Punch, right? The punch cam where everybody goes.
Oh man, if there's one thing I hate about WWE more than anything, it's that I could probably sit down and try to stomach it if it wasn't for that dumb storylines aside. But that camera stuff, it's just like it's so busy for no reason. It doesn't make it feel like you're not engulfed in it. You don't feel like you're part of it. You just feel like I'm about to throw up, and I don't get nauseous like that. But that's how you feel with that.
So my pick is going to be Adam Cole. I'm going to go Adam Cole.
I could see that, for like reasons we spoke of, and then it definitely leads into the next. I believe it's the next match, right?
The next match, man. And I don't know which. Honestly, I don't know which one of the two is going to be the final match. I would say the IWGP match might be the final match, because let's face it, this is an interim, right?
This is not the title.
It's not the title. It is the champion while the champion's away. But I'm fine with that. And this is a match, and you know what? This is a match that we've been clamoring for. John Moxley's been clamoring for this match. And to turn it into a championship match makes it even more important. I can't wait to this match. I can't wait to see it. You know, I hope we get to it early enough, because I wanted to have time to build, right? I want this to be a 30-minute type match, right? Because I want to see them being as creative as they possibly can be, right? With Moxley's craziness, with Tanahashi's, move set and stuff like that. I think this match has a potential of being a match of the year if done properly. You know what I mean?
We might see Tanahashi for like the first time maybe ever like shed a lot of blood. Like I think this is gonna be like both figuratively and literally. You don't really see that much for Tanahashi, but I think this is gonna be like one of those like really
they're gonna fight.
And you don't really see that much with Tanahashi. Like he's wrestling all the time. So like to see him actually fight is gonna be so cool, man. But yeah, like what was it? And to be honest, like this is going back to like us saying how deep their roster is and how they're able to pull out what is essentially in another time a dream match. Like you said, Moxley's been begging for this match for a long time. But this wasn't even supposed to be the match. And
it
yet,
wasn't supposed to be a match, right?
Probably, I don't want to say bigger, but this probably storyline wise has a lot more,
It
like
has
to
more
it.
meat to it, yeah.
Yeah, than the Punk thing. Dude, Punk and Tanahashi. I was like, I wasn't expecting that match, but I was for it. But yeah, now like this goes back to like when Lance Archer had to fight Moxley, and then Lance Archer had his COVID issue, and they brought in Eddie Kingston, and look at that, dude. That was one hell of a feud right there, and it had history. So the fact that they're able to take something that wasn't even supposed to be a thing and make it seem like this is something that's actually been in the works, like it's brilliant.
Yeah, and you remember the whole U.S. championship run, right?
Mhm.
Tanahashi called out Moxley in AEW, and that match never happened.
Yeah,
right. Moxley he dropped the belt to, you just mentioned him, right? To Lance Archer of all people, right?
Mhm.
And it was one of the weirdest drops. Like Lance Archer just beat Moxley. You know what I mean? Because you didn't see Lance Archer winning that way, but
yeah.
so they never got a chance to actually have that match,
Mhm.
which was supposed to happen like a year ago.
Yeah.
And stuff. So they've been avoiding each other, not on purpose, of course.
Yeah, it's just
But-
fate's. That's how fate worked.
Yeah, right. So they've been going different parallel paths, and the whole CM Punk of it all was because of CM Punk's injury. We got this.
Mhm.
Yo, I'm good. I'm happy.
Dude, I feel like they could have thrown almost any combination of somebody versus somebody, and they would have found a way to make it work, even if it initially wasn't like your main pick. Like I said, I was hoping that it would be Punk versus Kenta, because there's like history between it. Maybe not like
We'll go
like
to sleep. They have each
yeah,
other's
to go to
movements, right?
sleep. Like that literally could have been the match. Like whoever wins this, gets go to sleep. Something stupid like that. Not really the selling point of the match, but they could have put that to rest. But if it was Punk versus Okada, Punk versus Tanahashi, yo, give it to me, man. Just the fact that this pay-per-view is even happening.
Mhm.
Like we spoke about at the beginning, this is something that like it's changing the game of professional wrestling, and it's cool to see so many other companies come together and do this. Hopefully, maybe one day, I doubt it, but AAA gets their stuff together, because the fact that like what's his name
Andrade,
was in part of this,
and he's pissed.
yeah, dude, and
He's pissed.
he's gonna have some words. Him and Flair are gonna have to go tear the place down.
The Lucha Brothers are not involved.
Yeah, and it's
a lot of people that are sitting this one out, and it's sad that they are.
But I'm pretty sure, I'm confident, if they made this happen, there's the possibilities for like everything going forward. Possibility of things like that going forward is going to be very high, and that's cool. It's promising, we wouldn't have this without AEW or this whole movement. So
So
back to this match. Yeah,
going back to who's winning this one.
It's funny, before you even said it, I knew where you were going with it, and I'm glad you said that, because I'm going with Tanahashi.
Same here, Tanahashi, man, all the way.
Don't think Moxley needs this.
Well, I think Tanahashi's gonna win it, just so that we could get that Punk match.
That's definitely, because that's what people kind of wanted to see when they didn't even think they wanted to see it, but they wanted to see it. And also, like, it is the interim championship, so it's not like it's the actual AEW championship. And to be
Moxley's
honest,
gonna be busy. Moxley has the
G1,
blood and guts, but he has blood and guts too.
Yeah. He is in the G1 though, right? Is Andrade is not? No. Andrade's not blaming AEW at all. He knows.
Andrade is definitely not blaming AEW. He knows it's all AAA.
Dude, the fact that to digress real quick, they brought in Roosh.
Yeah,
dude, I was hoping to see something like that come into play with Oh, matter of fact, LIJ versus LIJ. That's what I was looking for. I think that's maybe why Naito's not in it.
Here's another curveball for you. So another curveball to me would be MJF getting involved in some way?
Dude,
Because he's sitting it out right now, right?
and this is not like him like leaving the company, sitting it out, bro. There's something in the works right now. With
Yeah,
something
he's
big.
sitting it out to do something, right?
Mhm.
So he's sitting it out. Is he going to disrupt the pay per view in some way? Right?
Oh,
'Cause
dude,
that's the only
imagine he hijacks the pay-per-view.
right. So would he be doing something like that? That again, that's just one of those things, right?
Yeah.
So, but again, we got no MJF. Will MJF be involved in some way? I think personally that Moxley does not win this match because of blood and guts in particular.
Yeah.
But I think it just makes sense to give the title to. This is a good opportunity to say we have a good working relationship, right?
Yeah.
To give the title to a New Japan guy, let him run with the title, and then let him hold it until Punk comes back, and then when Punk comes back, Punk keeps the belt.
Yeah, and especially if like Cole wins the IWGP title, then I also think at some point they're going back to their old belt, so that it might be like a similar thing.
I think they'll just make a new belt.
Yeah. They'll be like, you know what, this guy can't, and then call it an interim thing, then do a title versus title unification, and then
I don't think they'll unify the title. I don't think they're gonna be that bold.
Oh, well, hey, who knows? Maybe they might take a play out of AEW's book and say, let's try that. But yeah, no, I think because essentially, like, I do want to see Tanahashi and Punk, and also considering like with all the injuries, like you brought up, like All Out possibly being another crossover event. I could totally see that. I mean, this is not a one and done thing. This is something that, like, if it went originally how it was originally planned, it still was gonna be something that, Tony Khan's not just doing this for one time and then saying "F you guys." Like, this is clearly a dream of his, and
I agree, man.
Yeah, and if Tanahashi does win it, I mean, obviously, it really, now you're like, damn, does he beat Punk? Like, because I'm not saying I don't want to see Moxley versus Punk, I do, but I want to see it.
I think we're gonna get it eventually.
Exactly, I want to see it on their terms.
Yeah.
Wild card to me, Daniel Bryan replacement. So what is he that like popular that like people would know who he is? Like,
I don't think William Regal's son would be. That's like putting Davey Boy Smith Jr. in a match.
So
it's cool to have him, and he's definitely a New Japan guy. But he's one of those guys. These guys are not. When we talk about mystery wrestlers in particular, you got to go somewhere where the crowd knows, the people know, and not just the fanboys, right?
Especially after making like it an announcement, it's not like something they announce. Because all right, if Daniel Bryan wanted to go full heel and do something like that, I think they would have did it on Dynamite.
Yeah.
But to wait for the pay-per-view, that's kind of ballsy. So it may not be.
It gives you a reason to wait to go to the pay-per-view too, right?
Yeah, because they do understand. Like, I mean, I know this pay-per-view is gonna sell. Like, that's not even an issue. But I'm pretty sure in the back of their mind, they're like, "Damn, we have a lot of like holes we need to fix. So let's make something big out of it." But yeah, even if it's not Cesaro, which everybody's leaning towards, if it is Nick Aldis, like, I know people might not be as happy as they would be with Cesaro, but Nick Aldis is a big deal, and to have him in AEW in some shape,
NWA championship,
exactly. NWA champions, I mean, they should be respected in all regards. I mean, that championship is.
So you think he's signing with W? I think he meant not singing with even though that'd be great to sing, but I think signing. I don't think Nick Aldis is gonna sign. Not after what they did to Mickey right now.
Oh yeah. Oh man, dude, that whole thing was funny. Yeah. I remember when like they started talking about a WWE Forbidden Door. Like, bro, listen, the only reason why WWE called Mickey James because they had nobody else, so they needed to say, hey, we'll let you put your Impact title on TV, and you
can come out to your song.
Yeah, that was look, WWE, they do things where like with Jeff Hardy, right? Jeff Hardy, they had that incident where he was supposedly messed up, and they found out that he was clean.
He might have been messed up. I think he had a couple of drinks.
Yeah, okay, but they made it seem like he was.
I don't think he was in the place that he was like now.
Yeah,
But
no,
I
no, no.
think there had to have been something.
But there
They
was,
couldn't just have to say that he didn't, you know, there
yeah,
was
but the
nothing.
story was that like they found out that he was clean, and they never told him right away. So instead of like saying, "Hey, sorry, you know, we said you were messed up, you weren't." So instead of actually saying sorry, there's like, "You want to be in the Hall of Fame?" Like
Well, they didn't
without
do
your
that yet. They haven't. They're not in the Hall of Fame yet.
no, he turned it down because he didn't want to do it without Matt.
Oh yeah,
But
you got to do it, Matt.
yeah, dude, I like Jeff Hardy. He's been pretty prevalent in WWE, but if you have him without Matt Hardy, that's like,
It doesn't make sense.
you know, yeah,
So,
like
dude, Danny, let's call it a day, man.
oh
We're
yeah,
about
dude,
2 hours. We're gonna go into
you
our
said
2 hour time.
you said 1 hour, right?
I told you, man. These things, it's a long card, so I knew it
Yeah.
was gonna go past it. We
Well,
tried, but you know,
just a heads
we
up.
want to see Rampage. Maybe they'll add 2 more matches. Who knows?
Just a heads up, I talk a lot, so going forward, I'll
No,
try
don't
my
worry,
best
man.
to keep it.
No,
You know,
dude, it was great having you. It was a fantastic,
yes.
you know, together we had a great show. Can't wait to do another one.
Oh, dude, I'm mad. This is like it took me this long to get on, but I'm happy that you've been on me. You know, trying
Yeah,
to get
man.
me on here, and it's nice, man. It's nice to chop it up with people about
Yeah,
wrestling.
man.
You know,
We'll definitely
but
talk. We're definitely gonna talk some more.
yeah.
Danny, where can people find you?
You can find me at I am Danny Darko. That is my Instagram, my TikTok, my Twitter, my Twitch. On YouTube, I am Successfully Failing TV. And if you guys are looking to pick up some merch, I make art, stickers, junk like that. You can hit me up on successfullyfailing.com/store. Pick up some merch and, you know, spread the love. But yeah, man, it was great being on the show, and I can't wait to be back. Hopefully sooner than later. I don't know.
Oh
Maybe
yeah, definitely. We got more stuff coming up. We'll see.
A lot.
We'll see. All right, man. I'm gonna put you in the waiting room. So just give me a second while I'll close out, man.
I'm in timeout, bro.
Thanks a lot,
man.
Danny.
Peace, bro.
All right, guys. Are you excited for AEW Forbidden Door? AEW New Japan Forbidden Door. I'm excited. I can't wait to see it. Again, guys, if you want to leave a comment, let us know what you think of the show. Again, you're going to be entered to win a comic book. I have the Incredible Hulk issue 6, a very popular issue right now. This is a variant cover that was provided to me by the guys in Comic Exposure. And speaking about Comic Exposure, if you sign up to Comic Exposure and you make a purchase there, you get 15% off with promo code IzzyVerse. Go to Comic Exposure, get your variants that you want to get. They do definitely have it. 15% off with the promo code IzzyVerse. And with that being said, guys, there's also next week is my Kickstarter show. I'm going to be joined with the same Kickstarter crew, Phil Rosette, as well as Rafael Torres from Bitter Apple TV. We're going to be checking out some Kickstarter projects that are out and about, and we definitely want to see you there. And finally, also, coming next week, beginning on July 2nd and the 3rd, Eternal Con is happening, and I will be there. I will be also hosting a panel at Eternal Con. So a lot of stuff going on in the next couple of weeks. Again, if you like what you see, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, put a comment so you can get a chance to win some cool comic books and stuff like that. Guys, it's been a blast. I will see you next time in the IzzyVerse. Take it easy, guys. Bye.